From the network that brought you the Dro Bro Show and Remo's interviews, brings you the brand new Hot Tag with Grimex and Mr. Vicious. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Vicious, Remo Vinci, and we're back with the hot tag. And this time, me and my brother Grim X here got a fellow guest with us, our fellow Dro Bro, SoulDouja. What's up, Doge?
What's up, everybody? How's it going over there?
We chilling. We doing back-to-back
I'm
shows
just
today.
I'm just reading right now. I'm gonna stop my reading because I'm very intelligent reader, and I want to get to this quick hot tag.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Like I was saying, we're doing back-to-back shows today. We just finished our Bruce Lee episode with the Dro Bros, and Doja's over there watching or peeping out that Tao of Jeet Kune Do. That shit's amazing right there. But Grim, we've had a lot of shit going on in the wrestling world, my
Hey,
brother. I haven't been able to see a whole lot, so you're gonna have to school us on what's been happening.
hey, real quick before you guys get going, before I forget, was there? I can't think of any right off the bat, but were there wrestlers that were like Bruce Lee characters
Like a kung fu character. I don't think
or like
kung
a
fu
yeah or
necessarily,
some
but
you
there,
know
Haiku.
but
like
there's
because
been like martial arts Asian characters. There was this dude named Hakushi, and he was like Japanese and had all these markings, like all this Japanese alphabet all over his body. There was Kato and fucking Tanaka from the Orient Express, early WWE dudes. I know in Stampede
Tie and
Wrestling
tie.
up in Canada they had some dudes. Kai and Tai was more like our time frame, like in the Attitude Era. They've had
yeah.
A lot of Japanese. You haven't seen a whole lot of Chinese, but there's been a lot of Japanese.
I was kind of curious because like we're talking about how like like I could think of like the video games like he was like there's a Tekken character Law,
Yep,
there's
John Lee.
Mortal Com- yeah
John,
John Lee.
but yeah, you know what I mean, there's a lot of video game characters, but I was like kind of curious because like the wrestlers they mimic everything, and like they have all kinds of characters and stuff, and I was like, hey, I wonder if there's a like a Bruce Lee one that they had.
You're right, but there really hasn't. In fact, the only one that I've ever known, as far as like the name even goes, is like the Ultimo Dragon. Or now there's a guy named Dragon Lee now that's in NXT or in WWE. So those are the only dudes that
Ricky.
Ricky the
Ricky.
Dragon Steamboat. Yeah, you're right. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Um, but that's really it. Nobody's really had like a Bruce character. But that's about as close as we got. And Ricky kind of looked like
Huh.
him a couple times when he was real young. So
Oh,
Ricky kind of was about as close as we got.
interesting. Heck yeah.
Good question though. Good question. I like that shit. So Grim, like I said, we've had a lot happening in this wrestling world since we had our last pay-per-views. We covered the Forbidden Door and we did the Money in the Bank. But since then, we've missed a couple Raws and Smackdowns, and we thought it'd be a good idea to cover things a little bit more recent, more topical. Instead of doing it every month, maybe we're trying to do it every week, bi-weekly, as often as possible, because we miss shit. When we wait for a month, we kind of miss a lot of things that happen. So let me know what's been cracking, my brother. You've been watching. What did we miss?
So I know you like Tiffy. They freaking jumped Bailey, and Michin saved her again. And obviously Tiffy's with Naya. So if Naya beats Bailey at the pay-per-view, Tiffy, I don't think is going to cash in on Naya. She's going to cash in on whoever wins out of the live um, title match, which I think she's going to go against Rhea Ripley, isn't she? She's building up that storyline, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I
Big
like Tiffy.
story.
I like Tiffy, and I did see like some kind of something where her and Naya were together, and Naya laid somebody out, and Tiffy was about to cash in her shit, and fucking Naya was like, "Wait a minute, bitch, what the fuck you doing?" You know what I mean? And Tiffy was
Yeah.
like, "Fine, nothing, nothing," and Naya was like, "Shit, I saw that happen, bro." And I thought, "Uh-oh, that's about to be some shit right there." So that looks like that next feud that's happening. Tiffy and Naya. It looked like that's gonna happen at some point, and
And
that'll be good.
LA Knight, he freaking challenges Logan Paul. He has the contract. He had it signed. He was calling him out.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah.
This is this for the United States Championship?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight. That's
And
tight.
then
I'll see that.
DIY beat freaking A-Town down under again because they were all sad. They wanted their titles back, so they got their asses kicked. And that's when the Bloodline came out, punked them, right? Jacob Fatu, he came out, punked the whole crew, all four of them. And
Okay.
Cody came out, I think, by himself. That was the night before, huh? When he did that, Jacob Fatu, the week before. So yeah, on this week, Cody came out to tell them to challenge. No, that is what happened. They came out to say that Cody is gonna, whatever. And Cody came out there by himself, and they punk him. And Randy Orton came out, and they put Cody on the ropes, very iconically. You know what I mean? Like this.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And,
yeah.
to make
Is
them
that
Dang.
Tech?
acknowledge him, and they
Who's that?
freaking triple.
Who's that guy in the middle? Is that Tech Nine?
That's Solo. Solo Sikoa. He's like the leader now of the Bloodline, the one that took over for Roman Reigns after WrestleMania.
They power bombed Orton, who got all hurt. They freaking super kicked him like 3 times in the face, and then power bombed him through a table. So they punked the hell out of Orton. That sucks. So he
Damn,
might be out.
they're out all the top dudes. They're setting it up for Roman to come back, because he's going to be all that we got left to combat the fucking Bloodline. So they're doing it right. I don't know if I've obviously haven't been watching, so I don't know if these dudes are still as green as they looked at Money in the Bank, but man, they were kind of disappointing, like I said. So I'm hoping they're doing better work. I don't know. You saw it, so if they were doing
So
crappy, I'm sure you would let me know.
the big story of Raw, I mean, there's a bigger one, but the big one right at the beginning was Rhea coming out. Because, I mean, that was the ending of SmackDown, right? And they're making it to where Cody is the lone wolf right now. He has no backup because the KO's out. They took out Orton. So now it's just Cody going into SummerSlam by himself against the Bloodline. So
Yeah.
Raw, Rhea comes out and she upset. Dominic's trying to kiss her ass, and she basically says she's going to end Liv's career. She's not just coming for the title; she's coming to end her career.
Oh yeah, she's out for blood. Have you got to see any of this shit, Doge, with Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's kid?
No.
So that's
Trying to
Rhea.
look like Eddie.
That's Rhea Ripley, and then behind her back there, that's Rey Mysterio's kid. That's Dominic, and he's got like a mullet and a mustache. He looks like Eddie Guerrero from like 95, 96.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this, I don't know if you remember back in the day, but Eddie Guerrero had this storyline with China, and she was, that's where he got that "I'm your papi" because she was
Oh,
always,
that's
so
kind of
that,
funny you brought.
I'm sorry, but that's basically what they got going on now, where Rhea Ripley is mommy. So that's
Oh,
mommy. You know what I'm saying?
So then Jey Uso beats Dominic Mysterio by pinfall in a match. Okay. So
Oh,
Rhea Ripley out there, and he's all like this, "Call me Jay." So then in the back,
he got the
there,
legit pin on him though.
yeah. And
Wow.
because freaking Dominic was distracted because of Rhea, and so he freaking got him, and he did the Uso splash, pinned him, and anyways, Dominic, he runs back there chasing Rhea, and he's trying to say stuff to her. And she goes back there and sees the roses and stuff and throws them at him. And they're having a scene with Damian Priest, and Jey Uso comes up, and he's basically like, "Is Rhea Ripley single?" He's all, "That's what I heard. Tell her to holla." And it's sick as hell, the whole scene. And Dominic gets all sad, you know.
Damn. That's tight, bro. I like the storyline here. I'm anxious to see how it goes. It's good
hey,
stuff.
I was gonna tell you earlier. I was kind of watching random stuff on YouTube, and I ran across a like it was like 15 minutes summing up the China story. But I tripped out. I never knew that about her and Eddie Guerrero. And then like, you guys brought that up again. I was like, what? Because I
Yeah,
used to watch Eddie Guerrero like all the time, But I was
Latino
yeah.
like,
Heat.
It was a pretty cool storyline that they had for a while, man. It was awesome.
and then like she was even saying in interviews, he was so nice to me, and he would always whistle and compliment me and stuff. And I was like, that's so funny. I was like, freaking Eddie.
Honestly, to be quite honest with you guys, I think that was around the time when when Hunter started messing around with Steph, dog, and when China was kind of on the outs. So I think that Eddie storyline kind of helped her career for a little while. You know what I mean? Because it was soon after that where she was on the outs, and we didn't see her again. You know what I mean? So
Hey, it would be kind of fun to do. We'll have to figure out which podcast to do it on, but do a deep dive into China, her because her story is pretty interesting.
duly noted.
So
Yeah,
Sheamus defeats Bronson Reed, but Pete Dunne punks his ass. Because they
Yeah,
had that storyline of the brawling brutes, and Sheamus just
yeah.
left him out of nowhere. And last week he tried to freaking help Pete Dunne, or when Pete Dunne came out, he tried to shake his hand and he jumped out of the ring, and everyone's like, "What?" And this time he came out and he freaking clotheslined Sheamus after he wins, and then Bronson Reed hits him with the tsunami, right? So they're basically on the outs, and then Sonya Deville beat Selena Vega, and that wasn't her beating her. That was with the help of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, her two new cronies, right? Which
Yeah.
is starting a feud with Caden Carter and Katana Chance and Lyra Valkyria. So that ends up having a match
So hold on
after.
1 second. Like that trio right there, bro, is fucking badass. First of all, I saw somebody on fucking Instagram or some shit talking shit and calling it the lesbians or something. But whatever the fuck they do end up calling that team, I don't know if they have a name for them yet. But they're fucking badass, bro. That name has to be sick, bro. Because
They're dominating.
all three of those chicks are awesome. And Sonya Deville, she's usually a good mouthpiece, but I heard on one of my things that I was listening to is who are they going against? I think it was Chelsea Green in some kind of promo this just the other day. And Chelsea Green was just handing it to him, bro, in the promo, and none of them could do shit, I guess. So I know they're gonna have to step their game up with the promo at least. Um, I know Sonya's probably gonna be the mouthpiece because Shayna and Zoe aren't known for the promo. So I know she's gonna have to step it up for sure. But I really like the pairing, dog. All three of those chicks are dope. And
They
then
beat.
the other ones you were talking about, isn't that Katana or whatever the fuck her name is? Isn't she the one that used to be from American Ninja Warrior, the one that used to be with Ricochet?
I think so, maybe.
She
But
her,
she's
her
the
name
one
was,
with the freaking. She's the one with the dreads that are colored and they come out to the techno music and stuff.
oh
Katana
no,
Chance.
maybe not then. Because it was a little white girl and she her name before was like
Katana Chance, maybe.
yeah, that's who I think it is. That's who I think it is now. But her name before was something else. It was what the fuck was her name? It doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, she used to be with Ricochet before he got with Samantha Irvin.
So then after that, they have a tag match, right? Baszler and Zoe Stark, and they beat Katana Chance and Caden Carter, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, oh yeah, and Damian Priest beat Braun Strowman, and he actually beat him legit, without
damn.
the Judgment Day. So with the South of Heaven, which was pretty cool to prove his point. He has a point to prove after Gunther came out, and then they started slapping each other around.
Oh, I hate it. Drives
Oh
me.
yeah, Gunther called him a piece of trash at the beginning of the show. I forgot about that.
I hope Gunther takes it. What do we got coming up? Is it SummerSlam? Is that the
Yeah,
next one?
yeah.
God, and that's when Gunther's supposed to go against him, right? Because the King of
Hmm.
the Ring, right? Wasn't that one of the stipulations?
Yeah.
So fuck, I swear, man. I hope Gunther takes it, man. I'm so sick of fucking Damian Priest already. Those, did you get to see any of this shit? Did you get? You know who Damian Priest is? Did you get to see any of that in our build up, in our WrestleMania build?
oh, that's hilarious though.
Oh, he's
So
so back.
after that, right, Adam Pearce extends Drew McIntyre's suspension because he was going to let it go if he would apologize to the referees. And he's like, no, hell no. Now you're
Yeah.
humiliating me. Why would I have to do that? He said, I already said I'll do whatever you want me to do, but I'm not doing that. And so he's like, "Oh, I'll extend your suspension." He beats the referees up instead of apologizing to him. And
Dang.
Seth Rollins comes out and intervenes before he can beat the crap out of Adam Pierce. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, his suspension has been extended, and I know the reason why, because they're gonna have Rollins and Punk fight, and then they're gonna do Drew and CM Punk so they can milk that more. I bet.
So what's the SummerSlam match? Is it gonna be Punk or is it gonna be Rollins or is it gonna be Drew? And is Punk gonna be wrestling? What do you think?
Drew's suspended, and Punk isn't cleared yet, but they're building up for that. And both of Rollins and Drew are fighting over who's gonna fight Punk right now because Rollins is pissed because he got screwed over. So they might do a triple threat match first.
At
But
SummerSlam or before?
I don't know. I don't know if Punk will be involved in SummerSlam. So Rollins really isn't involved in any storyline other than with Drew. That's what I'm saying. They're building up a storyline there as opposed to going
Yeah.
all in. And it makes sense because really, rumor is Roman might make his return at SummerSlam. So
Yeah.
if you're doing that,
That's
it
why I'm
really makes
asking.
sense.
That's kind of why I'm asking, because I figure he's gonna have to start coming back around now, right? To build up for whatever they're gonna start doing at Survivor Series. Because the Survivor Series is where you're gonna see, at least what I'm thinking and what I think the wrestling world is thinking is when we see Bloodline against Bloodline, at Survivor Series in some kind of a War Games match or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what it sounds like to me is gonna be the culmination of it all. But maybe I'm just fantasy booking to the craziest 15th degree. I don't know, but those. Do
Hey,
you know about? Do
do
you
the
know about
kids
the bloodline? Go ahead.
do the kids watch it with you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mikey does. Mikey does.
Gio does.
Sometimes I get the girls in on it, like for the WrestleManias and the Rumbles and shit. But Mikey usually watches a lot more with me. In fact, y'all have seen Mikey's double or Slick's double cross, right? You've seen the show I got with Mikey where we do wrestling watch
Wrestling.
alongs.
So
Ah.
coming down to the last two things on this, just so you know, for the night
Yeah.
on Raw.
When's SummerSlam?
In
So
2 weeks,
Oh,
I
2 weeks.
think.
Oh, I thought you said what SummerSlam. I was about to break it down for you, my brother.
Well, should
But
answer that for people too.
Well, okay, so for those that may want to know, the WWE initially had, well, they kind of built up to this also, but what was known as the Big Four forever was their four main pay-per-views. It was WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those were like the tentpole events that they had every year annually. And then they started adding more pay-per-views and more pay-per-views. They had these in your houses and then
yeah,
all this other, and then which ultimately turned into WCW started doing an every month pay-per-view. So WWF had to compete with that shit, and they started doing every month pay-per-view, and that's what we got now. So every
no,
month.
but now they're becoming a worldwide brand, so we don't know yet. So right now, they split half their tour in the U.S. and half their tour overseas, where they went to Scotland, the U.K. They were in Saudi Arabia, Australia. So they're doing a world tour now, and I think they're doing every other. So like they're only hitting part of the states one year and gonna I don't know, don't quote me on this, but that's what I'm assuming now that they're becoming a worldwide brand.
Did they announce where SummerSlam is going to be this year?
They did, but I don't remember.
We'll look
Hey,
that
so
shit up.
they still do stuff overseas.
Yeah, it's
Bro, this
bigger
whole
now.
past year has been like a global expansion, bro. This whole past year, they went to fucking, like you just said, they went to Saudi, they went
Oh
to
yeah,
France.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. So Cleveland is the first one here in the States, the first big one here in the States. The last one, Money in the Bank, was in Canada. Before that, they were in fucking England. Was it? Where the fuck was it? England?
Scotland.
Where did Scotland? Thank you. They were in Scotland,
Uh,
and before that, they were in France. So this whole year, kind of already, they've been all over the place. And then they're gonna go to Japan pretty soon.
They
which
need to.
we'll talk about here in a little bit, because in Japan there's also some shit going on. They just went to Mexico this last week. Um, they usually do like a yearly tour though in Mexico and in Canada, like everywhere. You know, they kind of have their, it's like the circus. You know, they have their time where they hit every spot. You know what I mean?
Nah, but with TKO, it's a whole different ball game. So we'll see. And under the Hunter administration so far, it's been pretty dope. So going
Yeah,
on to what I feel like was the masterpiece of the night. Obviously, it's not the main event or anything, but Chad Gable basically tells Adam Pearce, like, what the hell? I saw Bo Dallas here, and Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. And, you know, everyone's throughout the night's like, yeah, so we know. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm telling everyone. And so, you know, acting like a yo. So, anyways, he tells him, well, you know, Bo's here. So he goes out there and calls out Bo, and Bo gets jumped by freaking who the hell are they? The fuck, why can't I think? The Creed brothers, right? So Chad Gable hired the Creed brothers, and they beat the hell out of him. And it's like reminiscent of the Dark Knight when Batman's beating up the Joker, and he's laughing, and he's like, "You can't do anything to me." You know that scene with the Heath
Yeah.
Ledger Joker,
yeah, yeah.
and he's just laughing in his face. You know, he's like, "You got nothing against me. Like, what are you gonna do?" And that's kind of like this whole scene where they're beating the hell out of Bo. And I mean, he's really selling. And some of the bumps look pretty freaking horrendous. Like when he's getting slammed into the barricade and shit, it looks like he jacked himself up. But he's just over there laughing maniacally. And at the point where Chad's like got him in the corner, he's like punching and punching and punching him. And Bo's like, there you are. And then the lights go out and it's the Sister Abigail song, you know? And then all of a sudden there's the freaking uh the Wyatt Six, they all form and come around the ring, and the Creed brothers and Chad run away, and they all stand and pose in the center. Pretty sick scene. After Eric Rowan, dude, I gotta say this, dude. I forgot about that. The tape they played this week with Eric Rowan, beautiful masterpiece. That's what I'm saying. This freaking Uncle Howdy storyline, the Wyatt Six, one of the best storylines in wrestling. Definitely sick for it being a horror storyline, but not really horror. And I like the psychological stuff. So Rowan, he's talking about how he lost his brother, and he's talking about Luke Harper, obviously.
Yeah,
And then he talks
yeah.
about how he just like fades into nothing, right? And he doesn't want to do anything. But then the worst thing happens, and he loses another brother. So then he lost his whole family. And at this point, he's like catatonic, and he just wants to die. And he falls into a well, he says, and he's like, "Who would miss me if I just did myself in?" He's like, "I'm just Rowan." I mean, just so fucking powerful and very heartfelt. And
That's
then,
a that's a wrestling character.
yeah, it's so
No,
sick, dude.
bro,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, it's like you would have been such a Wyatt fan, bro. You would have been such a Bray Wyatt
Yes.
fan. And since he died, bro, like this Bo Dallas is Bray Wyatt's brother, like real life brother, dog, like his little brother. So he's like, you know, carrying on his big brother's legacy, bro, and his storyline and his whole universe that his brother created, bro. Like this is all this is all very beautiful, touching shit in the wrestling world right now, dog. It's all like real special stuff, dog. You know what I mean? They have to do it right. They have to handle it right, or else it's gonna fucking be a mockery of the whole thing, dog. So for
Yeah.
it well done as it is right now, like you know, that's why Grimm's so happy and excited about it, because the shit's working and it's doing what it's supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, so the Eric Rowan shit, dude. And then he says that he lent his hand out. Well, first, Uncle Howdy hands him the lamb mask and said, "How does that make you feel?" And he looks down at it and he's crying and stuff. And he says, "This makes me feel happy." And then freaking he said that Uncle Howdy reached out to him and he offered his hand and he said, "Let me help you." And so freaking that's how he ends up joining and becoming the rabbit, rambling rabbit.
That's tight, bro. I love it. I want to watch it. I read about it and I kind of seen like a little picture, but I haven't seen the actual clip of it. So I
Dude,
definitely want to watch it. I
it's
heard it was
so
dope.
sick.
I heard it
So
was.
sick. It topped the main event, dude, when freaking Intercontinental Championship with Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn. It was pretty cool.
Ah,
Um,
how was that?
Ilya Dragunov won be a disqualification because of Braun Breaker speared Sami Zayn.
Oh, okay. So
And then he speared Dragunov too. He speared the crap out of him.
You saw this though?
Even though Adam Pearce had him walked out at the beginning of the night with security because he didn't.
Did you see the shit or not?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Oh, okay, cool.
Who, me?
All right. Yeah.
No, it's just like I said, because you forget things. But anyways, yeah, at the beginning of the night, he wants to fight Sammy, and he's like, "Screw this! He's getting a title match. What the hell is this about?" And Adam Pearce is like, "No, you need to leave." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna do whatever I want." He said, "How about that?" And so, he said he's gonna destroy them both. So Braun Breaker, remember Joe? We talked about him on what's that called? That's Scott Steiner's nephew and freaking Rick Steiner's son from the Steiner brothers. So he was trained by him, and he's a beast, dude. And he comes out and he spears Ilya Dragunov and tears him in half, and then he spears freaking Zayn, obviously, and he's asked to leave. But he was escorted out by security at the beginning of the night, and even though we were talking about that creepy shit with the freaking the Wyatt family, I just want to say when that door opened, that was my cat coming out of the bathroom. Not so creepy shit.
Dude, I've been creeped out about that door for a minute already, dude. I'm watching for a face to pop out and shit, man. I'm like, fuck.
That was dope. That was so dope. I saw it too, and I looked at Doge. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, I was like, we're about to get a viral video.
Damn it, you ruined it. Greg never said anything.
Oh man.
Yeah, so after he beats down Zayn, that's when it goes off the air, you know what I mean? But yeah, Braun Breaker's a beast, dude, and I hope he gets that Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he's ready yet, but I hope he gets it.
I told you he's gonna be the one to do it. He's gonna be the one to beat Sammy, and he's gonna be crowned. You know, it's gonna be tight. So what do we have next? That was the main event, right?
Yeah.
That was Raw.
Yeah.
So did you get to see any AEW stuff? Any of the Wednesday or any of that shit? No. So do we know anything that's going on in AEW? I know MJF just, but this is since then. I think this has been more recent, like yesterday or whatever. I know he won the fucking what was the I can't remember the championship that Will Ospreay had, but he had a match with Will Ospreay and beat him for that championship. So I'm sure that was a dope ass match. I don't know what else is going on in AEW right now, to be honest with you. So I don't know what else we want to reference there. But tell me about SmackDown real quick.
Oh, I already did. That was at the beginning because SmackDown was actually last week because SmackDown's tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. Then we're all caught up.
Yeah.
Hey, so how many wrestling things are a week now?
So WWE has Raw on Mondays, and they have SmackDown on Fridays, and they also have NXT on Tuesdays.
Wednesday, I thought, their startup show, and AEW has Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, AEW is on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So that's two different companies have at least two different shows. WWE's got three, and actually
TNA is on Tuesday, I think, and then you have NJPW, which I think is on Saturday, isn't it?
I don't know when New Japan does their weekly thing. I don't even know if they have a weekly televised one, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. But I know there's a few other ones that have like internet ones, you know, like some of the indies. But as far as like the big time ones, it's just TNA, WWE, and AEW from what I know.
But as far as predictions for tomorrow, Roman, he could potentially show up.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. I don't know. I think it's kind of soon, but we'll see. I think it's kind of going to be
2 weeks before SummerSlam, I think.
Well, I think it's going to be more like what you were saying earlier. Like he's going to come back at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be that. I think he's going to be like a surprise.
He did with the Fiend. Remember? That's when he got his title back from the Fiend.
Yeah.
So people have been talking about that, so that it would also be an homage, and especially since he lost his father recently, you know.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It's gonna be tight to see what happens there. So hopefully we get a nice little SummerSlam show. I honestly don't want him to come back until SummerSlam. I think that builds it up more. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah,
We'll see
John
what happens.
Cena, he's not in it yet, but remember, he's coming. He's coming with storylines. So
Is
who
he
knows
Yeah,
what
supposed
show?
is he supposed to start like his retirement tour like now? Is he gonna start getting involved in shit?
That's what he's saying, right?
I
He said
wonder. I wonder
2025
when
from
that,
now. He said now until next year, it's on.
you're right, but I do wonder when it's gonna start. So we'll see. Hopefully that does pop up because that would be nice to see him in something, get it
I
moving.
can't.
that's
I can't wait
hilarious.
for
I,
them to unveil the other Wyatt family members and dude, their stories on tape. And Joe, like he said, you would
uh,
freaking love this shit. You would love it. It's
I was,
horror, it's crazy, it's fucking cool. Like you heard the guy talking about killing himself and freaking how sad the story is, and it's a real thing. Even when Bo's talking about when he lost his brother, that's like his real feelings.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
And we just had our Bruce episode and how he had crazy death circumstances. Like Bray Wyatt was very similar. His real name was Wyndham Rotunda. And do you remember back in the '90s? The Million Dollar Man, and he had a tag team partner named IRS. Do you remember that, Doge?
Erwin
kinda.
R. Shyster.
So IRS is Bray Wyatt's dad and Bo Dallas's dad.
Uh,
Anyway,
that story kind of reminds me of the one of the I forgot the name of the movie, but we reviewed it on Dro Bros about the wrestlers with the Zac Efron.
Oh
they are
yeah.
they are
Yeah, because how all his brothers died. You know what I mean? And that's pretty.
yeah,
Yeah.
very.
No, but it's dope, man. Like I said, that's like my favorite thing next to the Bloodline storyline and stuff because I love Cody Rhodes and I love the Bloodline. I don't like Solo's Bloodline, but I like the original Bloodline.
I like
And
Soul Bloodline too. They're a good villain faction. You know what I mean? But
I
on that,
like the
I was
other
just.
characters.
I'm sorry, my fault. I was just gonna say on that note of brotherhood and all that. I think it would be a nice little time for our little drillment of the hot tag.
Yeah.
Nice
All
little.
right, guess I'll do a dab.
A dab will do you, they say.
I already smoked all my flour.
Well, here's to you, my brothers.
Double.
Yeah. I like when it just like kicks you in the chest.
And then,
I like when it
and the
grabs you
drill.
by the nagas.
No, it's just Solo and Tongaloa haven't really impressed me too much, but Tamatonga and Jacob Fatu I like. But I'm
I
waiting
need
to
to see
see
more.
when the old bloodline comes back.
I feel like I need to see more of all of them. I don't really have much of a good idea, to really say anything. Hey, guys, just for 1 second, can we just kind of go back for a half second to our Bruce episode? And I just want to mention one thing. Give me 1 second.
Wah, wah.
I gotta give a shout. I gotta give a shout out to my brother, our brother Raymundo.
What? He bought you some nunchucks or what?
Oh, he made me these for my birthday. Look at how fucking cool this is.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
dope.
dope? Hey, that's my shit.
They're foam? Are those the foam ones? You still
No, no,
got the.
no.
Why did he make
No,
you?
that's wood.
Why did he make
We
you?
learned how to use that. Remember back at my house.
Yeah. So, hey, fault. My fault. I forgot to mention that on our Bruce episode, and I wanted
Man,
to.
you know what? You know what I was gonna tell you too before we did it. I was gonna say we should all have like chucks on our neck because I got a pair of nunchucks too.
Yep, I know we should have done that. That would have been
Could have been
perfect.
like,
Yeah, me too.
we could have
But
been like all, we could have been all cool. Hey, but I think we could always revisit Bruce Lee.
yep, yep, we could always cover Enter the Dragon as a movie or something that we cover or something.
Well, it'd be fun to get more deep into his Jeet Kune Do because that fool like did all kinds of
Yeah,
studying and shit. Like,
the way of
Yep.
the intercepting fist.
well, and then I was just looking through his book, like right now, man, like all the pictures, like he shows like how to hit with the palm of your foot, like how to strike different ways with your hands. Like it's pretty wild, like
Pretty
pretty
dope.
detailed stuff. He
So
shows you how to, hey, he shows you how to do the heel to the groin. You're like, damn, that shit would hurt.
anything to the groin. I don't care if it's a fucking pinky to the groin. That shit would hurt.
Hey, if you've seen my movie, we do some stuff to the groin in the movie.
Well, that's a nice little spot there for a plug. Everybody, check out Doja's a little meme movie that he's been making. Part 2 just came out. Part 1's already been out for a little bit, so give him some love there. And like we just alluded to, our Bruce Lee episode of the Dro Bro show that we just got. So they'll both be out along with this episode right now of the Hot Tag very shortly. They should be available at the same time. So make sure you give us some love, like, subscribe, follow, share, do all the good things. Doja and Grim here, they got, what's that called, episode? What is it? 3 now?
No,
Oh,
parts A and B.
yeah. So it's episode 2, but we broke it up into 2 parts. It's like a total of 3 hours, but we have part A and B to
But the
episode 2.
Trump
Yeah.
part might be
What's out right now?
outdated unless you.
So are
Yeah.
A and B both out right now?
No, A is gonna come out like probably tomorrow, and then maybe probably late tonight actually.
Okay.
And then part I'm gonna let that go out for like maybe a week before I release the second part. But
Yeah.
the first part we kind of get into like the legends of skinwalkers and the myths and stuff, and it's a creepy episode.
I'm like, shit. Fuck all that. Well,
Hey,
right,
just
brother.
just
Who's
This
that?
is the culprit, Sophie, the one who came out of the bathroom.
Well, there's the face you were looking for, Doge.
dude, that was so funny. I was like, wait, was it? And then I'm like thinking in my
I
head, like,
knew.
was it that door closed? Like,
Well, well, it opened and then it closed and then it opened and then it closed, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this damn thing? Shit.
it's so
I know.
funny.
Well, anyway, thank you, my brother Grim, for putting me up on game, catching me up on what's happening in the wrestling world. We should do this every week. We should have you catch me up since I'm not really able to watch the shit, and you get to be peeping it out. And I'll try to figure out some way to get more of the AEW stuff going on here, so we have more to say about that. I know we also in WWE we signed what's her name, the Stephanie Valcure or something like that from CMLL. And that was a big deal because she was supposed to go to AEW, but she didn't like the way that she was being handled already. So she got a call from Shawn Michaels personally, I hear, and got her to sign with WWE. And she made her first appearance right away in Mexico, right off the bat, just a couple of days ago. So
Hey,
that's pretty cool. Go ahead.
is that Shawn Michaels the one? Like he's kind of the owner now.
No, he's the one that's kind of running NXT right now.
Oh,
Triple
okay.
H is like the main guy, but he's not.
Oh.
Like the guy that took over Vince's place is really The Rock.
And
The
I don't know
Rock.
if I would say Vince's place, but he's definitely part of the team that controls the whole thing now. Yeah.
I got confused for a minute. I meant to say Triple H because I always get those two kind of confused. But that's
Yeah.
kind of cool that Shawn Michaels is still around. He's been in it for a minute.
Well, him and Triple H are like best friends. You know what I mean? So Sean's always had a great mind for the business. I would have liked to have seen Brett gotten involved. You know what I mean? And being part of something. But you know, it's cool to see Sean. There's so many guys that have. Listen to you. I don't even want to hear that shit.
No,
There's
only
Oh,
because I'm
Brett.
saying Brett's pretty bitter, you know, the way he talks about the business and stuff. If he
but I
could
bet
let
you he would
that
have been a
go,
much better trainer.
no,
Yeah,
I'm saying if he could let that go, yeah, there's a spot for him. You know, Natalia and Tyson kept trying to bring him in, and he just has a lot of resentment towards a lot of that stuff. And if he could let that
Hey,
go, I think he would be an asset to WWE.
yeah.
are
Yes.
you guys are you guys talking about? Wasn't it like Brett the Hart or something?
Brett the
Best
Hitman.
there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Brett the Hit.
Oh, that's so he's still around, huh?
Yeah, he's the last one. He's the only one of his whole heart foundation.
Just like the Iron Claw.
Yep.
Hey, what about Sting?
Sting just had his retirement. We covered that in our Revolution one. Were you not on that show?
I don't know where I'm at half the time.
Yeah, I don't remember. You might have been on that show. I don't remember. We might have to do one without you. I can't remember now because we did that one a while ago.
uh,
Yeah, Sting took
um,
retirement a couple months ago.
hey, we're already on 20 episodes of the Dro Bros. I don't know how many shows of the Hot Tags. You know what I mean? Like things are rolling, bro. And I got like my whole weekend's booked. It's cool. You know?
I know.
I can't.
I'm anxious to see your interviews because I'm slacking on mine, bro. I don't have anything from the Remo show coming out this week or next week because I have a few things in the works right now that I'm waiting on. So be prepared for that. But you know, nothing coming out right now. So luckily, you
Hey,
have cool interviews coming out, and I'm
And
excited to see what that's going to be about.
I
hey,
wasn't doing the thumbs down. I was trying to get the rain for the Be Like Water. You know, I got the blue shirt on, you got the Be Like Water shirt on, and we just did
uh,
the Bruce episode. So
Hey,
that's
okay.
what I was trying to do.
well, since we're talking about shirts, I got to show you all this shit. I just got it. It's my Godfather shirt.
Oh, dope.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
See that shit? That shit's tight,
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
My Don Corleone. Ugh.
Hey, speaking of the Godfather, my uncle John Juanito, he's who I named my son after. He's been passed away for a while. But when I was small, he used to watch those movies all the fucking time. That was like the only thing that was on the TV. And I'd be like, Uncle, what this again? These are so boring. He'd be like, No, Joey. He was a cook. So he would go to my great grandma's house and he had the wood stove in the back and he had the gas stove in the front. And he literally had like shit on both things. So then he had the TV going, you know, I come over, hang out with Uncle. Uncle, can we watch some cartoons? Joey, this is the most best educational movie. You need to watch these. These are very good movies to learn and study from and this and that. And when I was young back then, I had no idea what the fuck my uncle was talking about. But now as I watched it as an adult, I own them and I'm like, dude, those movies are fucking badass, bro.
Bro, Godfather is my shit. Grim,
Hey,
what's your take on Godfather?
uh,
I've only seen him once and it's been a very long time.
have you
And I
guys
only
watched?
watched him because of you, because
Uh,
you had told me that you wanted me to see him since that was one of your favorite movies. But
that'd be a fun
Brandon was
one to.
more into it.
What we have to review that one time. But
We're gonna
um,
have because Grim doesn't look like it was very favorable right now. He needs to have a attitude adjustment.
you guys should watch Paramount. I'll think of the show's name. I'll send it to the group chat. But they did a series based on how them making that movie. And dude, those guys went through a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah,
The wrestler.
Uh,
yeah, we're gonna have to do shows on all those, man. That'd be tight.
I
But
think you will.
this has been it though for this week at least of the hot tag. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Doge, for being our guest this week. That's been cool. I appreciate y'all for peeping it. We'll see you next time on the hot tag. We out.
Tagging out.